Hi, I'm Kristin Omdahl, and this is video part 6 of 7 of a mystery crochet along where we're going to crochet something beautiful together. If you haven't seen the previous videos, they're all linked in the video description below. Let's get started. In videos part 1 through 5, I showed you how to crochet the first piece and then asked you to crochet a second piece through row 12. This is through rows 13 and this one is through rows 12. I'm going to show you how we join these two together, join as you go, while crocheting row 13. All right, so we're going to start along this side here, and row 13 begins with a chain 3, which counts as our first double crochet. And then before we begin the next stitch, we're going to slip stitch to the top of the chain 3 that counted as the first double crochet on the adjacent motif. Then we'll work 2 more double crochets here in our first chain 2 space. And now for this row, we're going to replace our chain 1 spaces with slip stitches to the adjacent pieces chain 1 space. So we were supposed to do a chain 1, we're going to do a slip stitch instead, and then 3 double crochets in the next chain 1 space. And we're going to repeat this all the way across. We're going to work slip stitch in the adjacent pieces chain 1 space and 3 double crochet in the next chain 1 space. And if you ever get confused about where you're at, you just want to set your work down to see where we're at. So we're ready to do our next slip stitch to replace our chain 1 space, and it'll go in this chain 1 space, and then come back to our working piece and work 3 more double crochets. And then our next space to slip stitch into is here. And 3 more doubles in the next chain 1 space. And then after every couple of joins, it's always helpful to set your work down and make sure that you're still working evenly. Without setting your work down, it's easy to make a mistake and maybe skip a space or work in a space twice. It's just always a good practice to set your work down and make sure that everything's going smoothly. Okay, and if you remember row 13 from the previous video, this is the one where we aren't doing increases in the corners anymore. So we're just going to work 3 double crochets in this chain 3 corner because we're no longer doing increases in the corner. And you'll see that for this one, we'll slip stitch in this next chain 1 space. And we're now turning to the other side of our project. So we'll be lining up the 2 long sides to crochet together. And we're also turning our piece from a 2-dimensional fabric into a 3-dimensional fabric. It's possible you know what we're making now. Make sure you let me know in the comments if you've figured out what we're making.
We'll set our work down, make sure we're still lined up. Looking good. Okay, everything looks lined up still. All right, we've made it to the next chain 3 space where we were previously doing a corner stitch, which was 3 double crochet, chain 3, 3 double crochet, but we're only doing 3 double crochet now, and then slip stitching to the adjacent motifs, chain 1 space, or adjacent pieces, chain 1 space. These aren't motifs, we're just treating them like motifs. And now we'll turn our work again to work along the last side that we're joining. We're only joining on 3 sides, the 3 sides of our pieces that are also the rows. We're not going to join on our row end stitches. And I'll show you what this looks like when I finish this section. All right, so now we're going to do our last 3 double crochets, 2 in the chain 2, and then our last double crochet in the double crochet, and we'll slip stitch to the top of the first stitch at on the previous side to join. And now we have joined our 2 pieces together along the 3 sides of that last row. Now you might be guessing what this is. We're making a bag. Isn't that great? And we are not needing to join the pieces at all. And by working that last row on both pieces without increases, we've created a gusset panel for the bottom and sides of the bag as well. In the next video, I'll show you how we finish everything off. So make sure that you don't fasten off at the end of row 13 of our second side where we join everything together. In the next and final video, I'll show you how we finish the bag. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, make sure you click that button so that you can be notified when the next video comes out.
I hope you enjoyed video part 6 of 7. Join me next time for the final installation of the Mystery Crochet Along videos.